All right. Well, good morning, everyone. This is the December 16th, 2021 meeting of the Kingston Local Development Corporation. I want to thank everyone for joining us this morning. As we are all assembling here, it looks like at this point we won't have a quorum for an official meeting today. We have 11 members, and due to a variety of different reasons, traveling, health issues, and we don't have the 6 that we need to be able to have an official meeting, and so we won't be able to officially call this meeting to order. But I will, just take a few minutes to, one, say hello to everybody, and two, just to provide a couple of quick updates of things that are happening in and around the Kingston area that we're kind of somewhat related to, just to kind of give people a quick update. We will have another meeting to officially reconvene in January to be able to vote on anything that's necessary. We did share via email, information from our attorney to kind of give everyone an update on the final disposition of our process with the Kingstonian. And so you can see that memo from our counsel in your inbox. We also shared the treasurer's report. Again, BA couldn't be here with us today, and so you have that to be able to review, so we can approve the treasurer's report at the next meeting. I do want to just take a moment to just go over a couple of quick, newsworthy items that are happening. I think we've all, saw the exciting news related to, the purchase of Tech City, which will now be named iPark 87. And I think that that's really exciting news for our whole region. And I think that it's really, while it is technically in the town of Ulster, I think from a economic development perspective for Kingston, I think that it's going to really be beneficial for us, even as a business park, to be able to potentially accommodate new tenants that may move into the area, that may need some additional sites, that may not be able to find exactly what they're looking for at iPark, and may be able to find what they're looking for with us here in the city of Kingston. I think in general, it's hopefully going to attract additional supportive businesses to some of the work that's going to be going on out there into Kingston. And I think it's just going to help with our overall, economic redevelopment of the city. And so I'm excited to be able to see where that goes over the next couple of years. And, I think definitely congratulations are definitely in order to, the county executive and, Supervisor Quigley and the whole team for being able to, land what I think will be a good positive development, in the community. So I wanted to mention that. I'm sure everyone's aware of that, but I wanted to just put that out there. One of the last things that we talked about, I think at the last meeting, was the American Rescue Plan funding. So we just completed a series of stakeholder meetings, business roundtables, kind of what online surveys, direct one-on-one interviews with folks, to really be able to get a sense of how did COVID impact them and their businesses. What are some of the ideas and potential ability to come back and have our kind of economic redevelopment kind of be picked up after dealing with this pandemic. And so all of those conversations happened and lots of ideas were provided. And now our consultants at this very moment, they're actually meeting with me today to go over some of the results of all of their work. And they plan to put all of that into a comprehensive document and provide that to the Common Council, our new Common Council, in January, to be able to start to identify, the first round of funding. The way the funding works is that the city needs to obligate, which is basically have a plan for the first 8 million plus by May, June of 2022. And then once we have that basically firmed up on where that's going and who that's going to, the feds will then send us our next payment of $8 million to be able to continue to implement the plan. We have to have all of the money in contract by the end of 2024, and all of it has to be spent by 2026. And so from a timing perspective, some projects will be very quick and easy to implement. Others are going to take, especially if we do any infrastructure projects, they do take some time. And so we have to really be conscious of that. But in the end, we have $17.3 million that is going to get invested directly in Kingston between now and 2026. And so it's a pretty good chunk of money that's, I think, going to help a lot of our community in a variety of different ways. And so we really heard a lot about the need for housing. We heard a lot about the need from businesses to that really did miss out on COVID funding for a variety of different reasons. Some of those federal stimulus funds just didn't really make their way down to some of our local businesses the way maybe the feds thought it would. And so we've heard a lot about that. And we really have seen a lot of our business organizations really step up, during this time. And so there was a real interest by by many folks we talked to be able to help support our business organizations, be able to then get money and funding out to the businesses that and kind of the districts that they represent, both uptown, midtown, and downtown, and in a variety of ways, whether to help with cultural and community events, to be able to help with kind of things that a business improvement district would do in the districts. And so there was really a lot of creative concepts. And so I'm excited to see what that looks like. And once the plan is out, it'll be a draft and it's going to be circulated for public review. And so I'll make sure Mandy gets it to all of you to be able to make sure that you all also have a chance to have a look at it and let us know if we missed anything or if anything needs to be clarified during this final process here. So I wanted to mention that that's been a culmination of months worth of work and a lot of work on that our team kind of put into creating this document. So I'll mention that. And I think that the last thing that I'll just mention is that we did just pass our 2022 budget. It is a budget that is going to really help support, I think, our business economy here in Kingston, especially from a kind of curb appeal. A lot of the things that we've heard time and time again from folks is that, if only we could have a little bit of better maintenance of this, or if this could only look a little bit better, or if we could take a little bit better care of our streetscape. One of so we added a total of 22 new positions to the budget for 2022. Many of those were in the areas of public works and parks and recreation. And we actually specifically created a buildings and grounds team that has 3 full-time staff that are going to be responsible for making sure that our parking lots look good, our medians look good, all of these brand new plantings on Broadway actually, look good and survive. And I think that that's really one of the things that we've heard time and time again from our business owners is that if we could just have a little bit more support in those areas, it could go a long way for our customer bases, so that we don't, so that we can kind of put on a very, positive outlook, as people come to our stores and businesses. And so we're hopeful that, that investment is going to really help support that initiative. Again, we're not going to be able to get everything done that maybe everyone wants, but we do think that, investing in kind of those core public services without raising taxes, is really good. And I think the way we're kind of doing that is we've seen our sales tax increase pretty dramatically here in Ulster County. And so we've been able to reap in those rewards. And so really, we're basically reinvesting the sales tax revenue back into, making the city, a more, kind of beautiful place. And so that's what we're kind of, our hope is with that. And again, still focusing on core services, like we added 3 new police officers to do additional community policing. We added some more project managers to be able to implement, more quickly some of these projects that we have funding for, more people in the building department to be able to make sure that folks keep up with their codes and they don't let their buildings, deteriorate. And we go after all of the folks better that have vacant buildings. And so we try to hit kind of all of the key areas that we've heard, time and time again, where folks need some help. And so those are really my updates for today. And, I'm sorry that we don't have a quorum and that we can't kind of do any of our official business, but if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to, try to help answer any more broadly. And if not, we'll say goodbye. Yeah, Andy.
I had to take, just in case the dogs bark. With the I-87 thing, the project, do you see that that's going to be a bit of a competition with us with the business park and kind of take away some of the attractiveness of our business park?
I think being that, we basically have one buildable site left in our park, I think that, we're going to be able to more easily find a tenant who didn't quite find what they were looking for at iPark. I think that iPark is going to bring a lot of people to look at their site. And I think that folks are going to, that may be looking for, a 25,000 square foot building space that, could be more built to suit. And I'm not really sure how much potential for some of those smaller spaces are going to exist out there in the grand scheme of things. And I think that, we may get some of that overflow. That's my hope. And I would be concerned about building a brand new business park at this moment, if we had, right. And I don't think though that we'll lose any of our tenants, to moving over there. I think that, iPark 87 is probably going to fill that up within a few years very quickly before any of our leases expire for any of our current folks. But I do think that I wouldn't, at this point, probably wouldn't consider building a new business park when we have all of that space to fill out there. Yeah, Glenn. Oh, I think you're muted, Glenn.
Still muted.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Thanks. I was down the business park the other day and it looks good. And I think I was going to ask a question if it did come up. Is the entrance or the roadway up to the park itself, is there a schedule for that, for the cleanup of the landscaping? A couple of years ago, it was really good job was really done. I think maybe if it could be looked at, I think the appearance right from the signage and the facade going up, but probably would just look a little bit better when before spring. Maybe it might be a little difficult doing it now, but if it's part of the maintenance plan. I know they looked great 2 or 3 years ago when it was done. It's a long strip.
Yeah, so there's kind of there's two parts there, right? So there's directly where the sign is, and that's really on the KLDC. And a few years ago, we actually did a really great planting job there to put in some new plants and kind of redid the sign. And but then the roadway, as we've talked about, is actually a city road. And right now, the city has not had really the type of mowers necessary to really be able to get over the shoulder, and you really need one with an extended arm to be able to kind of clear the brush. We had to rent one the last time and so, but in our budget for 2022, we actually we're looking to purchase one of those, I believe. And so that will help us, I think, do a better job of being able to maintain those kind of roadways. We need to do it on a Beale Street 32. We usually rent one once a year. And I don't know if this year with everything we were able to do that, but we will, hopefully be able to do a better job of maintaining the roadway on the way up to the business park going forward.
Good. I think that'll be good. Thanks.
Yeah, Mandy, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I just wanted to say that we had done the new lights and the sign was taken care of, but the entryway with the flowers and all that, Brad had paid for all of that. He had one of his guys come and do the landscaping and do the plantings there. The problem with putting more plantings is we don't have anybody that's down there watering it. You know what I mean? So if we were to put something there that might be able to come back every year, a perennial of some sort that might have some flowering, as opposed to just something that looks like a bush that would then get overgrown, we could probably look into doing something like that too, aside from the machine with the arm that goes around and cleans. That's all I had.
Yeah, okay, good. We'll look at that, and we'll, again, we want to continue to make it look nice for everybody in the neighborhood and also the people that are coming and going from the site and potential new clients. So agreed. All right, well, if nobody has anything else, I really do appreciate everybody taking the time to sign on this morning. I hope everyone has a nice, safe and happy holiday season. And I really look forward to seeing everybody again in the new year. And in case you want to tune in, I will be doing my State of the City address the night of the first council meeting in January, and I think it's January 4th. And so most likely it'll be virtual for the most part, but we don't know exactly. I got to work with the Common Council president to figure that out yet, but we will be letting folks know what we're up to in 2022. So.
Steve.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Okay,
Yep. We'll talk soon. Bye.
enjoy the holidays.
Yep. You too.